All right, guys, we're here with Adam. Adam, the man from Good Times Barbershop. What's up, dude? How is it going?
I am good, as good as can be. Unprecedented times. You just got to keep living.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you right off the bat. Ever since moving to Okinawa, I haven't gotten a good haircut. I go to the on base at the exchange. There's like the military barbershop with they got the flow bees, and then
Yep.
they got the salon or whatever, like the nicer one. And
Yeah.
there's this dude in there, like the only American dude. Most of the people are Japanese. And I go in there, and I had gotten a haircut with like 3 different people, and then one day they're like, "Here, this guy's available." He walks in. His name's Max, but with 2 X's, and that's the guy who's cutting my hair now. He's from like New York. He's from like Queens or something, and he's
Yeah.
been cutting my hair. Which it's okay. It's okay. But am I happy? Am I totally satisfied? And is like the experience walking in there, hanging out with like buddies in a cool environment, having a beer, is it anything like that? No, it is nothing like that. And now my hair is fucking out of control. It's like 3 inches long.
It's crazy, man. What you start to be grateful for when stuff this has never happened before. So it's like there's no playbook, but it's like you start like being grateful for like just the interactions and like just seeing people and like having that energy exchange, which I think moving forward, even as we do get to open, is going to be different. It's going to be weird. It's like the handshake. I love doing the handshake. It's like part of my thing. Like, I want to shake your hand, tell you, you thank you. And I think that's going to be weird now. You can't do that, you know,
Yeah.
and with gloves and everything. It's going to be a weird, um, interaction. So that's something that I've like really started thinking about, like how cool it was, like the energy exchange and just the environment at the shop. Yeah, so I've just been reflecting on that lately.
Dude, the shop, Good Times Barbershop, is a hangout. Like
Yeah.
it's a classic barbershop hangout, So not only are you missing that, I'm sure your customers are missing that. And I want to ask you, how are your other employees doing?
To be honest, man, nobody's gotten any sort of relief. None. I haven't seen one bit. I've applied for everything. I'm on the phone all day, every day. Zero relief. Not one bit. It's kind of discouraging when you start seeing the people that do get, you know, some sort of bailout or some help, and then brick and mortar like mom and pop, or they're not getting anything, and it's pretty discouraging. We're doing what we can, though. I'm trying to help my guys out. I only have one guy now. I had one guy that got freaked out when this started happening. He's like, I got to go home, man. I got to go to my parents. Like, this is getting weird. So he went back to Pennsylvania. And I got one guy now, just me and him. And then I had another dude that's going to start. He was supposed to take his barber test in April, but canceled everything. So now he's waiting on a test. Everything's in limbo. It's just like, what's going to happen? We don't know. And while we're in limbo, nobody's getting any sort of help. And that's what's discouraging. Like, we weren't eligible for like unemployment and stuff like that. And then they made us eligible for it, but it was like, it's been over a month before they opened up the portal to be able to apply for it, with like zero revenue. you know um so like, I'm in contact with my guy Iggy every day, because he's tripping out sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, man, what am I going to do? He has 4 kids. His wife is out in she's in Florida for rigger school, parachute rigger school. She's in the Navy, so he hasn't seen her since early March, because they canked all operations. They can't leave on airplanes. Everybody's grounded. So it's been quite the situation for my guys.
That's unreal, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. What programs have you been trying to use that have not been coming through?
All of them. The EIDL loan from the SBA. I applied the day that you could apply for it. Haven't seen one bit. Not one, nothing. I've also applied for the PPP loan from 3 different lenders, one being one that I've used since boot camp, Navy Federal, and they've changed the requirements a couple times without having any communication with me. And so they'll queue my application without telling me, and then I have to call and try to get through to a human, which usually is really hard to do. And then they'll like the other day they said that they needed my bank statements at the bank that I bank with, which is astonishing to me. I was like, "What do you mean, my bank? Like you? Why don't you give them to me so I can hand them back to you?" Like that's what it seemed like. And they're like, "Yeah, it's just the way it is." And I'm
Oh
like,
man.
"Okay." So I did it, and then they needed an. I don't know. It's just it's stuff like that where I'm over 6 weeks out with nothing, and so I applied for that. I also tried to apply for unemployment back in like early April. Denied. Straight up, I got denied. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, we just haven't got the program up for the PUA, which is called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, I think, or whatever, in California. And then they just built that portal to be available like this last week. And still, obviously you got to wait. So it's just, what else have so the 3 different lenders, one of them straight denied me, and one offered me 75% less than what was originally like what I would rate with the calculations given by the SBA. They're like, okay, yeah, let's readjust this, and then we're going to give you 75% less than what you need. Is that cool? And I'm like, what? Like, no,
Dude,
so it's been a nightmare, man.
I'm really,
and I'm like, and then landlords, they still need their money. Like everybody's like, this is crazy time. People are getting a little edgier with each other in that regard.
I bet.
I see some dudes that are having to close down shops already, restaurants, barbershops. They're like, I can't keep up. Like even when we come back from this, we have to owe it, right? And it's like it's difficult for people to try to to make up for all this lost time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and it's crazy because I'm like, how do we owe money for something that we can't use?
Yeah.
Like it's mandated, we can't use it.
It's there's got to be, I'm really sorry to hear that. And then it compounds when you think about how many similar veteran-owned businesses have got to be going through the same kind of thing right now. Dude, everyone that's been on the show, everyone that we've talked to is basically in the same situation. It's not like anybody's, Walmart or something,
And I tell everyone that I try to be cool, man. I'm not like yelling on the phone at people. I'm like, hey man, I know it's not you. And I know I'm not alone, but this is frustrating. I'm telling them, I'm like, man, we haven't made money in how long? And we're just trying to get some help. And I mean, I've gone as far as like reaching out to like different parts of my network, like the Latino Chamber of Commerce, the United States Latino Chamber of Commerce. I've reached out to them. I've reached out to other officials about it. I email them, and like I don't expect any special treatment. I've never asked for special treatment, but it just doesn't seem like it's being evenly distributed. People are being flipped over for sure.
Do you have any idea? Has there been any kind of feelers being put out or signs of when they might let businesses open up?
They're talking about that phase system that I'm sure everybody's kind of familiar with if you're in California. Everywhere's kind of doing the same kind of thing, but they're probably doing it at different rates around the country. They're saying right now we're in phase 1, where we're trying to gather supplies and make sure that we, flatten that curve. Phase 2, they're going to let other non-essential businesses open that are less risky, like restaurants and stuff. Like they'll let them have like half capacity or 25% capacity. Everybody's got to be wearing like masks and gloves and stuff too. So, and like disposable, it's just like accommodations are changing. Like the whole, like how you conduct business is changing. And then after that is phase 3, which is where I would fall into, because it's more risky because I'm like touching someone. I'm like, there's no way I can do 6 feet And
Right.
that was the
Right.
thing when we were closing down in the first place. Like, all right, you got to maintain social distance 6 feet. And I'm like, dude, we can't. Like, there's no way to do that. So that's why they put us into phase 3, like us, tattooers, massage therapists, everyone that's got like kind of like contact or like a personal service is in phase 3. And I listened to the governor. It's mostly words. This is what it seems like. And I'm not even trying to talk trash. It's just like, what are you saying? Like, people are asking you questions, and he's a pretty good politician, so he knows how to answer questions without answering them.
Exactly.
So he's saying weeks, not months, for phase 2. From like this last week, he said that, and then he's saying like months for phase 3. And I'm like, months? He said like plural months. Like, I've already been closed for over a month. So that's like a whole quarter of revenue being, and on top of that, the overhead against you. So with no relief, and that's where the problem I think is, where it's like, you're forced out of work.
Yeah, it's really scary.
We were thriving. The shop was always busy. We were thriving, kicking ass. I had to make room for more barbers and stuff. We were so busy.
Yeah.
And so people were like, "Oh, you're going to be so busy when you get back." And I'm like, "Yeah, we already were." Like, it's going to be crazier because they're going to have to restrict how many people we have in the barbershop. We're already appointment based, but we're only going to probably have 3 barbers working at any given time, which is, we have enough for 6, but for social distancing purposes and whatever. So, it's just, and there's no guidance. So now I'm just trying to be proactive. I'm like, okay, what do I think they're going to do as far as like, preventative measures and stuff. So,
you've always been, I've known you for, I don't know, like 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And, you've always been a really thoughtful guy. Like when you were talking about, you're not getting mad at people on the phone because you understand everybody's kind of going through it. Like you understand your problem. You understand other people are going through their problems. You're really level headed. I remember when you were on the radio with us that one time, you talked about, you just want to like shake somebody because they don't get it, but you're like, it's okay. I understand, you don't get it. Your experience is different from, mine, and that's okay. Yeah. But now we're kind of in a situation where, everybody, it's funny because, like the only people who are not going through this are like people in the military.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, they're all getting paid. And like, it's just like, I'm like, man. Yeah, I've thought about like who's not affected.
Yeah.
The politicians aren't affected, and they're the ones making these rules and regulate. And for the record, like, this is how I feel about it. I'm all about like the preventative measures we made, locking it down if that's what we needed to do. Public health. I mean, I come from a medical background. I fully support that.
Yeah, Navy corpsman. For anybody who doesn't know.
So, I'm torn, man, both ways. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, is it safe? Now it's like weird because like they've put, whatever it is like in our brains that it's like dangerous and like whatever. So I'm like, okay, what if I've asked myself, okay, what if they say you can go to work tomorrow? Would you feel cool about that? And I don't know if I can say yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Like, okay, you can work now. Like, well, like the grocery store workers, they're making them work and they don't even feel safe doing it. They're like,
yeah,
it's kind of weird.
There's a lot of
shut down and I'm allowed to work.
There's a lot of compelling arguments like that. Like, why is it not too dangerous for Walmart employees to work, but it is too dangerous for a mom and pop grocery store to work? Something like that. And I don't, and
I don't get it.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into the politics of it too much. All I think about it is at some point, you've got to let people accept the risk on their own, because you're killing people right now with the, like, financially, you're crippling people.
Oh, for sure. Like if they're not like I said, if they were going to do this and they're financially backing what the decisions that they're making, then there's no problem really, right? Like, cause it's being substituted and they're actually but it's not happening. It's just not. And I'm proactive. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm on the phone all the time. Like, give me answers. I'm not just sitting here waiting and hoping that something happens. Like, I'm out there. I've tried to pivot my business to a little bit more of an online presence for merch to be available for customers to support, or gift cards, or for future services. And then like I've also thought about like making maybe doing a raffle for haircuts in the future, like a year for worth of haircuts or whatever, raffling that off for the future to kind of keep us afloat for now. Um, it's so uncertain though. I'm like, what? Like, how long do we gonna hold this out for? Like,
Yeah.
are they gonna expect us, by the end of the year? Like, I don't know. Like, how long do you let stuff bleed out for as a business
Um,
before you have to take a ball? And
is
I'm not there yet, thank God, because I'm pretty good, in the business world, but it's not fun.
yeah. You know what? Anytime you're losing money is not good, man. Because no matter like how much you have in the reserves, that can only last so long. Is there anything people can do right now to support you? Do you have any fundraising going on or anything like that?
Right now we have gift certificates available online, and I do have like shaves and beard trims on there too. But I'm like, man, I don't even know if I could have those on there. Like, I'm like, maybe I should take those off, because we don't know what the guidance is, and I don't want to be like selling stuff that I can't use. That I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah.
Which is why I haven't done like any other like long term rap like agreements or raffles, because I'm like, how do you promise something that you don't even know when's gonna start again? You know, and I'm a man of my word. I always have been.
Yep.
I want to deliver. So, but we do have that. We have gift certificates online because we thought this was going to be done by now. When this first started, I remember I was watching a Joe Rogan thing, and I was like, oh shit, that's like a really good point. The guy's like, people think this is like a snowstorm, like a blizzard. He's like, nah, this is going to be like a winter. Like, this
Oh
was
yeah.
before it even
Yep.
went off. I was at my
Yeah.
friend's house just
Yeah.
watching it because we watched, Joe Rogan together. This was probably like in late February when he had this guy on, this virologist or whatever. And then that's really what it's become now. It's been like a whole like a whole winter of this, virus.
Well, you know what, dude, it's good to see you and talk to you, but it's also really good to get the boots on ground viewpoint from you, because you represent 10,000 businesses or more across the country, veteran owned or not. Your experience is probably what everyone's going through, and that's kind of unthinkable, really.
Yeah,
So
it's not. I forgot to mention that I'm on the mayor's task force for business, the business task force for Imperial Beach. I'm on there every Monday at 6. After I work out, I'm like, I need to see what's going on here, and I'm like, all right, they got nothing. Like every Monday, like, it's almost like they're like, I don't know. It's very disheartening. It, but I'm trying to stay abreast of everything, all the information coming forward, any sort of like support that is available. I try to be like, on the lookout for it, because you got to help yourself. Everyone's got to help themselves in a situation like this, and it's frustrating for everyone, man. And now that you say it, like everyone's going through this. I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of stress for me to think about. That there's all kinds of people like in the collectively how much stress is being stirred about. And then actually, this one guy. This is a funny story. I know I'm kind of rambling, but
no, go.
funny story. This other guy that owns a barbershop. He buys a lot of the Good Times pomade from him, and I ship it up there for him to sell. He just opened his shop, dude, yesterday. His barbershop. He was a Marine. He was a grunt, and he's just like, I don't care. I'm opening. And he got cease and desisted. And he's like, well, they're not helping me out one bit. I don't care. And he was on the news, and I was like, I remember I saw it on the news. I was like, what? And I know that guy. And he's like, nope, I don't care. They're like, do you think you're gonna be fine? And he's like, absolutely. he just doesn't care. He's like, nope, I'm exercising my rights, civil disobedience. I don't care.
I saw
And
that too.
I was like, that's kind of awesome for what, like, that he's doing what he believes is right, regardless of what he's being told. But I'm like, all right, I can see the argument, like we've talked about, on all sides of like what's right, what's wrong. But I just thought it was really cool that he was just like, nope. And he was just like, you just felt like the American spirit, out of this guy. And
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. Like, if you
Yeah.
agree with him or not, I think you're just like, all right, man, that guy he's doing what he believes in.
Yeah,
So
I saw him. He came out there. What did he say? Like, nope, I'm open. I'm going to support first responders, police, firefighters, military,
oh, you saw him
paramedics.
too?
I saw it. Yeah, because it was kind of going around it was making its way around the social media
Dude, I knew it.
circuit.
I was like, oh, today I was talking to my girlfriend. We were driving around. I was like, I should do something like that. I should get some press. Like,
Yeah, well, fuck,
I'm
man.
like getting arrested. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm a veteran. Like, any publicity is, is good, even if it's bad, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. Well, I'm gonna see.
No, it was pretty cool, and I see it circulating. I'm like, man, like he's really like. I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. He's kind of like the test subject, kind of for all of us. We're like, all right, what are they gonna do to him? Nothing. Cool. Let's just do it then.
That's true.
You're gonna see that, I think.
Well,
I think you're gonna.
every big movement usually starts with one person who kind of steps up. It just takes one person to step up, and then you got everyone making a move. Although I hope it's productive. I hope it's constructive, not destructive. I hope it's the right people, because sometimes it inspires people who set the whole movement back, like
Right.
like the guys in
I agree.
like
And
the
I
guys
saw
in
he was,
Michigan.
all of his guys were wearing masks,
Yeah.
gloves. Like he was making an effort to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I guess from a healthcare perspective, like, I mean, he's not a doctor or a scientist either.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I can make these arguments, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how do they control the masses? I don't think they have I don't think they have enough people to, if there is a tipping point where people are like, you know what, I got to work, I got to make money.
Well, so let me kind of summarize real quick what's going on. So we got Good Times Barbershop is closed. It's been closed for about 6 weeks. It is not certain or foreseen exactly when it's going to be able to reopen. But if you want to support right now, one way you can do it is to go online to the website, goodtimesbarbershop.com, and buy a gift certificate or for a future haircut, buy a future haircut or something like that. The products that are on there, you buy a hair product.
Put that on there too.
Cool. You buy merch, buy a t-shirt or something.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. And I throw a bunch of goodies in there too. And I just, more than anything, I just appreciate the support. It just shows that, we're not alone, and it feels good.
Well,
I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the community. People reach out all the time, like, hey, when are you guys going to be open? Like, everyone's, they're hurting with us. We're all in different boats, but we're weathering the same storm. That's the best way that I've heard it being conveyed. Like, it's this whole thing's a big storm, and all of us are in different boats, and our perceptions of it are going to be different. And it's just, we'll see how it is on the other side. And so I'm just trying to stay positive, proactive, and productive.
cool. Yeah, I'll spread the word, and we'll try to get people to support. And then as soon as these businesses are back open, people got to go use them, go hit them. That's what
I was saying. I was telling people that everyone's getting their checks, their $1,200 checks, and there's dudes in the military that get them. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, you guys are getting bonuses.
Yeah.
hey, don't be spending it at Apple.
Yeah,
and
right.
Buying iPods and stuff. Like, buy some gift certificates for me. Like, help out the small guy, man.
Yep.
Like, they don't need the money right now.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about that briefly, texting back and forth when it first started. Right. Or I posted something on a story or something like that, and you and I talked about it for a minute. That's exactly right, man. If you don't need the money and you got it, it's for you to spend and build the community back up when these things open back up,
And you're getting something out of it too. It's not like you're just handing money.
Exactly.
Like, we're not asking for handouts. We want to work for everything that we get. So I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Yeah. Really it's a small thing I can do, but I'm just trying to figure out what I can do in any small way to help. You're a staple in the community. You and the people at your shop became one of my favorite places to go. And not only just because of you guys, but because it was the best haircut I've ever gotten in my life. And I mean that. And I miss you guys. And when I'm back in San Diego, I'm going to come down and say hello for sure, which will hopefully be later in the summer. If things kind of reopen. I've got a buddy who's having a kid, and I'll be coming back to San Diego to kind of do my rounds and meet and see everybody and meet the little kiddo. But
come by.
I'll be coming by for sure.
Cool. All right, Max.
All right, Adam.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.